racially and biologically different and inferior to Anglo-Saxon Protestants. One of the huge differences, however, is that they were never denied the power to vote, which gets us back to democracy and how we can fight against the powers of hate and violence. So Irish, one of the reasons why, I would argue, one of the most important reasons why Irish eventually became white, even though they were never not white, was because they had the political power to vote xenophobic politicians out of office. The anti-Catholic movement was so strong that it created the first anti-immigrant political party. When we talk about politics and xenophobia, the Know Nothing Party or the American Party, their slogan was America for Americans. They pioneered the politicization of xenophobia, getting voters to the polls to vote for an anti-immigrant politicians and anti-immigrant policies. They had 1 million members in the 1850s. Hugely important. We could not have Trump without the know-nothings. You could not have the Chinese Exclusion Act or Japanese American incarceration with all of these precedents, both legal, political, cultural, that had allowed xenophobia to become an American tradition. So this idea of race, how is it that in the 19th century we thought of as Irish as somehow not white? Jews, Southern Italians, Eastern Europeans were also considered somehow less than white. Asians for sure were not white, as well as with African Americans and Native Americans. How do we continue to sort of morph those racial categories? How do those change? How is it that Chinese immigrants who were the first to be banned as singled out as a group are now the model minority? And what does that mean? And how do we use another trope, the good immigrant versus the bad immigrant, as a source of distraction, as a source of division? So I want to now maybe turn the conversation a little bit more towards what do we do about it. It has been revealed now that you can't study these systems of hate in a vacuum. I remember an article, a headline